to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
Good afternoon to the good people. Good afternoon to the bad people, friends and enemies. Good afternoon, boom, shakalaka to you all. I am Chris Base. BaseLine. You know what this is? We congregate every Friday. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Always wanting you to be well where you are. Shout out to Wise All for having us on the Real Wise Radio Network. As this show is simulcasted on, I deeply appreciate that. Always appreciate my brother putting this program on. We'll see where it goes. Some people like it, some people don't. I haven't got the feedback on it, but whatever it is, I will take. Let's see, as we continue to get the program started here, of course, freeing your mind. Do it various ways. Call in at 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. The YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel, all one word with a period at the end of channel. Subscribe, like, and share. Do all that. Instagram, I am the Base. Also on Facebook Live. And so once again, if you dare to be so bold, ask for the show link. I'll put it in as well. So again, Free Your Mind Friday, that means whatever that's mean you out there, right? You over there in the corner, you out there want to talk about, it is okay. It's all right. Or comment in the comment section like Barbara Jean. She never calls in. She comments in the comment section. I'm doing Barbara Jean. Happy Friday to you too. See, good afternoon, good morning, afternoon, because it's afternoon here, but sick. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to one sick Diggy. How you doing? That's right, TGIF. Thank you, sick. Let's see. So everybody's talking to themselves in there, and that's between them. Barbara Jean and sick. What's up, Lido Redmond? How you doing, my man? How you doing? Thank you for being here, brother. How you feeling? Hey, Lisa London. Good afternoon, Biz Nation. How's everything? Thank you for being here. A special shout out to my man, Cool McCain. Does a sports program. I was recording with him before I got here, so I want to get information when it would air. It's supposed to be airing sometime tonight, but I'll have it on my Facebook page. You can check it out for yourself as well. So we talk about sports. I must admit, I'm not as versed as he is, because he's a sports guy. I'm just a guest. I come on every Friday on his program, and we were recording, like I said, and what was we were talking about, like the WNBA. I watch a little bit of it. So if I seem like kind of like aloof, which my usual aloofness, yeah, I could have been a little bit stronger, but I did let him know, like, bro, I ain't gonna say unless they're in front. I don't know none of these people, but it's just basic conversation about sports. And once again, like me, he's not a stat person. I'm not a stat person too. Every now and again, I might quote some stats, but that's usually about how that goes. All good in the hood? Yeah, like love to hear from you, man. Thank you for being here, bro. And people out there in the comment section know who you are. If you have a podcast, radio program, somewhere that can check out your talents, please type into the comment section so we can share that shit. Just that simple. I'm a giving man. I don't believe in just, don't come on here and not promote your wares. Please do. Oh man, we finally made it to the weekend. So let's see. So I'm cooking tomorrow. I was talking with the family. So there are days when I cook for the family. So I got Wednesdays and Saturdays. So tomorrow I'm going to cook. I got to take out the meat. I'm going to fix some chili tomorrow. So I'm doing that. So I got to get the prep work for that. I don't know if they like to do like the three-way chili, five-way chili with the onions and sour cream and shredded cheese. I don't know if they like that or not. I think I might put it out there to see what happens. And and it's funny because like my mom, I do it the way my mom fixed it, and we didn't have the traditional. I traditional depending on where you come from. Red sauce chili. We never did that. Mom never did it. It was always brown. It was always the brown chili. So brown chili, of course, chili powder, ground beef, or whatever everyone else would put in there, and the seasonings and everything else. So our chili was always brown. We always had brown chili, never red. I didn't really think about. I didn't discover like red. Every now and again, you watch on TV or something like that that people got the tomato based chili. We never had that. So a tradition of my mom. My mom still loves it, so I fixed it the way she fixed it. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do our version, family wise, of chili. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Jed? Yeah, we gonna get it. We'll talk about that too. If you want to. Yeah, happy Jimmy Kimmel Day. Sinclair folded. Yes, it is. I totally agree with that. I was very elated, and still am about the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel return to the airwaves. And it had to be inevitable because, as we know by now, reported here on the program, that Disney, ABC, mostly Disney, of course, the parent company, lost at the time $3.7 billion in lost revenue. As Scarface said in the movie played by Al Pacino, that's some serious money, man. That's some serious money. And just the fact that, again, I'm very proud of this country. I'm very proud of the people who stood up, showed up, and showed out. It was a masterstroke for that to have happened. It was beautiful because I told you before, and Kimmel mentioned on this show too. I hate a bully. Hate a bully with a passion. Hate him. So when you see the person fight back against the bully, yes, it is and will always be a victory, day in and day out. Hello, sir. How you doing, man? My man Lamont Baker. I should say, Doctor Lamont Baker. How you doing, brother? Thank you for being here. Talk show host in his own right. Absolutely. What's up, Omar? Hello, Chris. Hello, Barbara Jean, and happy Friday to the both of you. Happy Friday to you too. Absolutely. How you doing? We always call our beans and ground beef, then beans and ground turkey, right? And and the people started, of course, alter their ingredients with chili because you have different type of chilies all the way around the world, so that's always cool. Punch a bully in the nose, and right, and if they continue to take your lunch money, they have dominion over you. But if you fight back and you hit back harder than the bully did, yeah, you're good to go. You're good to go. It's always a victory. Always. We should not take that lightly from what's going on in our country. We should not ignore it at all. Because if we ignore it, then shame on us. As we continue on the peanut gallery here. Hey, Diane, how you doing? Says Base Hawkins. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? How's everything in your world? Omar, I am fine. It's been raining here in Georgia this morning and cloudy this afternoon. Okay. The Barbara Jean, George Daniels. Yeah, great dude, George Daniels. Oh, is he okay? I hope he's okay. Got hearts next to it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me check a couple things here. You typed George Daniels with hearts behind it. Woo! I remember one time I was working on Cool Out Radio, and okay, let me take the backstory. So this one, the station was on 87th Street, and which was great, and it had the window studio and everything else, very big studio. Something was happening, and we had to go to a backup studio there, not the main studio. It was another studio that we were working out of, and it was very cramped, very cramped. So if you did not bathe, we could smell your funky ass. That's how funkified it was. So nobody there was everybody was clean, mind you. So no ass smelling or smell of ass. We're in the studio and we were interviewing George Daniels, George's music room, popularity and everything else. And he smelled like weed. Woo. I have never smoked weed in my life. That's not my vice. I always like to drink. And like I said before, I told you before on many occasions, I didn't smoke a cigar until I was 25. But ooh, weed. I mean, he reeked of weed. No, I love. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that you try to have no contact high. That's my brother. I love him, Professor Bass, Chris Bass. He's watching the broadcast. George, you was high as a motherfucker. Woo, man. I ain't see it. Well, since you're here, I don't see you. I don't see it on the screen here. So I think you guys see a little bit more than I do about who pops up. I can't see that George is on here, but George, I love you, George. I gotta have you on the show. But put it like this: you were so goddamn high. If I had you on this line right now, I can get high just having you on, and I don't even get high. But George tells some amazing stories. I love the man, and I won't share anything. I'll just wait. Hopefully he'll come on this program. Maybe he won't after I made fun about the weed smoking. But no, it's all in love. But man, I'm telling you, because once again, it was like, I gotta describe it. It was a very short broadcasting room because you only had the control where KO was, and then behind, of course, next to that, outside of is our side on the microphone. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 4 mics, but we're literally crammed up next to each other. And George had come in, and once again, love George, but goddamn, you would walk out with a cloud around your head. You would. And nothing wrong with smoking weed. It's not my vice. And once again, I'm coughing, like virgin lungs, because it just wasn't my thing. I know a couple of people that I work with for Club Radio. They smoke weed, so that I mean, they were all nice and happy and tasty and everything else. They were happy, but someone like myself who don't smoke weed, it's a whole different thing. My nostril hairs fell out, and I got contact high. So, and then I had a deep craving for Cheetos, crunchy kind of. Anyway, okay. So anyway, my point is the fact that, going back to George Daniels, to me, is a historical treasure and a link to music. That, of course, him being involved in music, but his own personal life about his connection to musical icons before he created the music room. So there you go. And once again, thank you for giving me the heads up. I would tell the story anyway, but George, I would love to have you on the show. Grace us with your presence. So we'll see. I hope we can do that, make that happen. I bet his song would have been "Mary Jane" by Rick James. Possibly. Sick. Did he have a cloud of smoke around him, like Pigpen from the Peanuts? Not to that degree. No, not that degree. No, something like that. You could barely move or barely walk. You got that smoke like Pigpen. No, it wasn't like that. Not at all. Let's say Lamont, puff, pass. Yes, doctor. Yeah, but it wasn't no passing. There wasn't no passing whatsoever. Oh snap! You've been smoking the good stuff, huh, George? Yeah, no, George is high end, so I know he smoked that good shit. I ain't mad at him. Let's see here. So, let's see. What you got here, sick? Uh, what in the Afro Man? Oh yeah, before I got high. Yeah, that's yeah. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it kind of had that feel to it. Yeah, because Joe's like a happy-go-lucky guy, always good spirits. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted by a federal grand jury in an extraordinary escalation of Trump's efforts to prosecute his political enemies. Comey, a longtime adversary of the president, is now the first senior government official to face federal charges in one of Trump's largest grievances, the 2016 investigation into whether his first presidential campaign concluded and colluded with Russia. One of the worst human beings the country has ever exposed to is James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI, Trump wrote in a Truth Social post. Comey has been charged with giving false statements to a congressional proceeding, and he could face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. Both charges are connected to his September 30th, 2020 testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee. A source told CNN's Jake Tapper that the indictment for lying to Congress is related to the FBI's Arctic Haze leak investigation related to classified information that ended up in 4 different newspaper articles. Goes on to say, appearing by Comey testified to be an anonymous source in the news reports. The indictment said that statement was false. Comey responded to the indictment in an Instagram video saying, "Let's have a trial and keep the faith. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice but I have great confidence in the federal judiciary system, and I'm innocent." Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a post on X, "No one is above the law." Today's indictment reflects this Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who oppose and abuse positions of power accountable for the misleading of the American people, Bondi wrote. "We will follow the acts in this case." The charges were presented by Lindsay Halligan, Trump's former personal attorney and the new top prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia. She was not accompanied by any career prosecutor and is the only Justice Department official who signed the charging documents. During a brief hearing, a judge announced the new case against Comey and said publicly that 14 jurors agreed to indict on the counts of false statements in the Judiciary of Congressional Proceedings, and obstruction of the Congressional Proceedings as well. There's a lot of grip. Halligan, who had never presented to a grand jury, did a crash course to prepare with the DOJ attorneys and FBI officials ahead of Thursday. Okay, let me read this because it's very important. I'll read it to you again. Halligan, who had never presented to a grand jury, did a crash course to prepare with the DOJ attorneys and FBI official ahead of Thursday. No record. This is brand new to Halligan. Halligan participated in a number of practice runs and spent hours going through the material in preparation. So you get a rookie in Lindsay Halligan, a rookie who has no experience in a high profile trial like this as a prosecutor. Oh, oh, I don't know about this one. This is not going to be good. Yeah, Comey was charged with an alleged false statement he made to the Senate Judiciary Committee in September 30th of 2020, though he had been asked the same question years earlier under oath. Prosecutors say Comey authorized a leak to the media about an FBI investigation via an anonymous source, but he then told the Senate he had not. Yeah. Let's see. Chances are that this could blow up in the Trump administration. Oh yes. Yeah, look, and Sick type that. Thank you, Sick. I believe that whoever Comey is going to have representation of him in this lawsuit, I think that if you're able to convince the jury, the 14 jurors, that the president is using a bully pulpit to go after his political enemies or just enemies in general. Case in point, as Jay brought up in the comment section, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. He has become Denzel Washington in Training Day. I'm putting case on all you bitches, pretty much. And that's what he's doing. Once again, the country already spoken, going back to what we said about Disney losing $3.7 billion. They're not far for the okie doke, and nor should they. Because you're dealing with a man, of course, who was just sick, unhinged, never grew up, never did. And once again, you and I got to pay the price for it. And just the fact, again, that you're going after Comey, that he's been right about that, I'm going after everybody. That's against me. Or as they said in the whole Western, are you for me or you against me? And a lot of people are against him. Against, that is. So I think, again, if they're able to convince the jury that the president is using this for political theater, then Comey will walk. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because, again, you have about 5 years. We're really kind of short, but it's 5 years if he's convicted. I don't think he'll do any time unless the whole thing is fixed. Which don't you think that could be a possibility too? We're dealing with Trump here, so anything connected with Trump, you gotta give it a side eye, just off the bat, just out of the gate, because it's who he is. So, like, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Far from it. So that's what happens. I believe that you have to fight fire with fire. I admire Mr. Comey for saying, let's have a trial. Let's have it. Good. Again, I said earlier about the bully and poking the bully in the nose and punching the bully. And you know what I'm saying? It's this is what we're up against. You know me, I hate a bully. Can't stand them. They should go back to hell where they came from. Hey, how you doing, Doc Sanders, Katrina Sanders, Heat, the Vaseline. Ooh-wee. Yeah. Heat the Vaseline, Dr. Sanders said. If you piss off 47, all you're going to do is try to sue. I'll sue you. If you ever watch South Park, they have a great parody on him. I love it. I'm gonna sue. I got this voice. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue. Oh, that's the president. It's not it's not much far from the truth. of how he acts. Just take the voice away, but you said it's the same thing. You check out South Park. It is hilarious. And South Park been making fun of people for over 20 years. Hell, I remember when I first heard of South Park. I was teaching radio, and I was at Kennedy King College. I got there in the March of 1998. Don't tell me some days I remember, some days I can't. I remember that one. So I got there in March of 1998 and had to do some other stuff before I got my office. And then some of my students had hooked me up to South Park. In fact, they gave me a copy of South Park the movie, which I thought was hilarious because we were talking about things that are funny and from an age perspective. So I gave them a copy of Blazing Saddles, the Mel Brooks movie, and they gave me a copy of South Park the movie, and I laughed hysterically. For some reason, they didn't like Blazing Saddles. I'm like, how can you not like Blazing Saddles? But they didn't like it. They didn't care for it. For some reason they didn't like it. I was kind of shocked, and I thought that they would, but they didn't. So go figure. But yeah, South Park, yeah, it is a hilarious rendition, imitation of Trump. What's worse is when the bully has a group of subordinates, or that there's a group of bullies and they target one person. That's them by themselves, but that's them themselves by themselves. They like hyenas ganging up on a leopard or a lion. Well, yeah, because that becomes again herd mentality. That becomes a mentality where it's like minded, and sometimes you need a leader to lead the pack, so to speak, and they attack. Sometimes don't even know what they're attacking, long as it's just along with everybody else. Shane Lake, how you doing, Mr. Bass? Good evening, my friend. How are you? Gotta love some South Park, and Blazing Saddles is a classic. Yeah, thank you, Shane. Yeah, that's what I said to my then students, but they didn't get it. So I felt kind of slighted because once again, I guess depending on your sense of humor, man. Blazing Saddles is hilarious. The great Mel Brooks was just one of his better works. I've just been a fan of Mel Brooks since I was a kid, and going back to Blazing Saddles itself, oh my god, a classic in real time. And once again, depending on your sense of humor, if you like it or not, I love it. And I thought it was interesting because so Mel Brooks was able to get Gene Wilder to be in the movie. He wasn't originally scheduled to be in the movie, but they got him as a replacement. And the only reason why it worked, the person that introduced Mel Brooks to Gene Wilder was his wife, Anne Bancroft, who's, of course, stage and screen actor herself. So she was the one that introduced Mel to Gene because, they were, I think, either by that point, either Mel and Bancroft, either they were dating or were married. I'm not sure of the timeline, but she was the one to introduce them to each other. And so he went on and brought him in, meaning Gene Wilder. The person who helped write the script was part of the screenplay was Richard Pryor for Blazing Saddles. Then he wanted to have Richard Pryor play the black sheriff to play Bart. But Warner Brothers like, no, wait a minute. Mm-mm. No, because of his coke habit. They couldn't take a chance on Pryor because he may have a stroke and no insurance and things like that. It'd have to be high coverage. of his drug habit. It's amazing how stuff gets around. You know, Hollywood people talk. So how the story went, it was Richard Pryor who recommended Cleavon Little, and that's how Cleavon Little got the role. But then after that, you have the teaming and the partnership of Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Let's see. Go back to the comment section. Sig D, wait, were these students millennials or Gen Z? I don't know. See, I don't know about all that Gen Z millennial stuff. I don't know. Because again, it's a community college, so that has various ages in it. Same with other colleges, but I wasn't. See, it's about 1998. We really didn't. I didn't pay attention, or it was not out yet about Generation X and stuff like that. Which Generation X I'm a part of. Now, I would say maybe whatever's after. I guess just I don't know, Doc. I don't know. All I know that they didn't like it. Yeah, they didn't care for it. Shane Tice, Mel Brooks was a legend ahead of his time. Absolutely. Great sense of humor. Sick Diggy, oh wow, a small world, isn't it? Yeah, very small. Very small indeed. So the perspective of how these things come together sometimes always fascinates me, always gives me an interesting situation where you look at how things come. I love backstories, how things come together. Let's see. Where's that? Oh, where you go? I'll explain the differences among the generations. No, you don't have to explain the generation. No, I'm just saying that that's not really part of the conversation. What I'm saying you don't have to explain the generation to you is that the students that can be various of ages. It can be someone of my age range, someone of Gen Z or whatever. I don't go into all that. All I know is that there are various ages of students. So that's what I'm talking about. So they didn't like it. So what more can you say? But it was interesting. I thanked them for turning me on to South Park. So that was cool. He served in the military as a New Jersey elected official. Always looking forward to his brother. Please welcome back to Baseline, George L. Cook III. How you doing, George?
How you doing, Chris? How you doing on this beautiful Friday afternoon?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you have the floor, man. Go take it away.
Hey, I'll talk about the four biggest stories that were on my page this week. But before I start, we have to say rest in peace to Asada Shakur, who passed away yesterday, actually at the age of 78 in Havana, Cuba. The Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed that she has passed away. There were a lot of rumors earlier today, but it has been confirmed. Also, on a better note, happy anniversary to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, which turned 9 on the 24th, and next year will be his 10th anniversary. So that should be something special to look forward to on September 24th, 2026. And of course, there was a story about Tennessee State University, a group called Fearless Debates without permission, without filling out paperwork, without being invited by a student group, without talking to the administration. Yes, this was a white group, two men and one security guard. Just decided to walk on the campus, no permission, set up tables, set up signs that were anti-DEI, anti-immigrant, and wait for people to come approach them after so they can have a debate, Charlie Kirk style. It didn't work the way they thought they were. Campus police got there. Crowd soon followed. Students, everybody, they ushered them off campus while students yelled and jeered at them. There was no physical altercation. And as I said on my piece, let's just all thank God the Q dogs did not get there first. Because we all know the Q dogs only live for three things: booty, drinking, and fighting. So thank God they did not get there first, because it could have been a lot uglier than it wasn't ugly, but it could have got uglier. And of course, here in New Jersey, we have a gubernatorial race with Mikey Sherrill and Jack Chattarelli. And Jack Chattarelli went before a group of black clergy last week, and it did not go well. You know, normally black clergy, especially when they're in some type of group organization, they tend to be measured in their response or measured in what they put out. They came right out and said they were not impressed with him. They said that he refused to rebuke white Christian nationalism. This is what they said. He said, because it would hurt his election chances. That's what this man is trying to run, the governor, Republican, trying to run for governor here in New Jersey, said. That's created a bit of an uproar here in New Jersey. But of course, in response, the Trump administration released Mikey Sherrill's military records, and which without notifying her, nobody knew, without permission. Forgot to take off her social security number, her home address, and her parents' home address. So they gave that file to Jack Shattarelli's campaign. And number one, whoever gave it to him was a piece of shit. Whoever in his campaign took it was a piece of shit for taking it. That's just wrong. They should have, if Trump offered it, they should have said no. And Chattarelli is serious. He needs to fire whoever took that file and renounce what happened completely. And you know it's bad because the entire New Jersey congressional delegation, including the few Republicans we have all came out against this, because that's just not right. And that's a bit of what was going on my page this week.
Let's see. Let's go to the comment section. We like booty, drinking, and fighting.
Well, if you know the Q dog, and in no particular order, so
right, no, right. It can be out of order. Right?
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
never know, because that's the way he said the three things that they'll do. Let's see. Six says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Cook."
Hey, how you doing, Sick? How you doing?
So another thing that came to mind when I thought about you when I was doing these stories together, the whole thing that has been dominant of news has been the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And Trump, and the fact that he returned this past Tuesday. What was your take on all that, from beginning to end, about removing him and him returning and all this Trump stuff in the middle?
It turned out to be much ado about nothing. Because I can't believe, and let's be clear, no matter what the Trump administration says, they removed him. Yeah, they put pressure. They did it through the licenses and all that, and let ABC make the decision to do whatever it was they're going to do, Disney, if you will. But they put the pressure on them to do this. They were scared about their licenses, so they removed Jimmy Kimmel. And then, of course, there was the public outroar. A lot of people were canceling their Hulu, Disney subscriptions, but surprisingly, you didn't hear anybody canceling their ESPN subscription, which I found kind of ironic. They were all getting rid of Hulu and Disney, and I was actually surprised at how quick Disney caved, how quick they gave in and put them back on the air. Trump's response didn't surprise me. He's a big kid who didn't get his way this time. And I actually today, Sinclair caved also. They're going to put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. And the reason they're doing it is because he got over 6 million views the first night, close to 6 million views the second night, and like 27 something million views online. So Sinclair is not stupid. They want that money too. And also, what I couldn't understand, I said this immediately when Sinclair and Nexstar balked at putting him back on. I said, if I was Disney, I yanked those college football rights and see how quick they put it back on. Because a lot of their stations are in the South or smaller stations where college football is king. So I thought they were just blowing there. And I'm happy. Like, I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not a fan. I don't. But I'm happy that this didn't happen to him, because if it can happen to him, a rich white man, it can happen to any of us.
Right.
From Jimmy Kimmel to a podcaster to somebody that makes videos, somebody like you. He could have came after anybody that pissed him off, especially since now he said he's put Antifa on the list. And if you ask anybody what the hell Antifa is, nobody can tell you. So he can make it whatever he wants it to be to use it against somebody. But I am happy. I never thought I would say this. Thank you, Ted Cruz. Thank you, Candace Owens, because they came out against this. And I think that's what actually pressured Hulu and Disney to say, you know what? If these people are against it, maybe we went too far. So I like to thank them for it. But it was in the end, it was a waste of time. We right back where we started. And what I'm also happy about is Jimmy Kimmel did not apologize. So that's he did not apologize. He kept being the same person he was. So I appreciate that he didn't apologize to Trump. He wasn't kissing his ass, drinking his bath. But he just said what he had to say in his opening monologue, and then it was business as usual. I still don't watch the show, but I'm happy that he's not canceled and that he didn't apologize.
Well, I thought it was interesting because I'm a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I don't watch him like I used to, but I've always been admirer of his work. To see him grow in the industry and to see where he is right now, I know I got nothing but love for Jimmy Kimmel. But the thing about all of this, you're absolutely right, George, is the fact that this is a victory for free speech in general.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go across the board, it can affect all of us. And so when you don't look at it from that perspective, like, okay, this is Jimmy Kimmel. No, no, no. It starts with Jimmy Kimmel. Always starts with one,
Mm-hmm.
and then works its way down. So it's like a trickle down theory. It starts up here, then it works its way down. So like you said before, it ain't Jimmy Kimmel today. It'll be you, me, somebody else tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we have to acknowledge it. Like you said before, you don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, but you appreciate the fact that Disney gave him a chance to come back, and despite all the pressure that was towards him, and I went back and watched the so-called dialogue or monologue that he did. It wasn't offensive at all. Just use
No.
him as a tool to get his ass off the air and give Trump what he wants. And so, I like you. I never thought, and I might as well go and say it like you. Thank you, Senator Ted Cruz, because see, that's what this country used to be about. Despite the difference on both sides of the aisle, if there's something that we can get together on, instead of the whole thing about nonpartisanship,
Yeah.
there's something that matters to people. Doesn't matter what affiliation they are. That's when you see the greatness of America, not the crap that Trump's talking about. The greatness of America is the fact that you're looking at people coming together despite their differences. And so you're right. Here comes Ted Cruz going after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr.
Mm.
The whole bullshit comment about we do the hard way or the that type of
Yeah.
shit. I mean, who says that?
Who makes a decision based on a podcast they were on? From the way that I saw the podcast he was on when he said he would take care of whatever. He wasn't even thinking about this situation to the podcast to whoever brought it up.
Right.
So that's how you know it's bullshit. The whole and I just want to say before we give these people that spoke up too much credit, some of them also said that the reason they were against it because if the Democrats got back in control, they might do the same thing to them. So some of it was about self-preservation also. It wasn't all goody goody two shoes, but they
Of
were
course
worried
not.
about the shoe boy being on the other foot. And I wanted to tell them you ain't got to worry because Democrats don't have the spine to do it. But thankfully they thought the Democrats would, so it turned out good for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. Diane Tyson, freedom of speech is important. Absolutely. See, Diane's a journalist. So,
Okay.
like I said before, I mean, it can happen to all of us. From that perspective, if you don't like what somebody types or says or things like that, then you should be excommunicated. That's not how this works. When you start to do that, then you're definitely living in medieval times. You mentioned in passing about the Democratic Party. You and I both know that they need help. They need help a long time ago, and it's sad because what I see as a registered Democrat, you see just these rugged individualists who are doing their thing. Don't be wrong. I believe in fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of people I can name in the party of Democrats that do fire with fire. Everybody else can much still the milk toast. Oh,
Yeah.
when they fall down, we'll help them out. No, no, no. This is a
Yeah.
whole new era and a whole new time. What do you think would take to recapture the recapture the Democratic Party for them to get back on track?
We need new blood. That's simple. The people there, and I love Hakeem Jeffries, but what he did last week by going along with the resolution to honor Charlie Kirk pissed me off. That really did piss me off, as did the young lady that's running, the Democratic candidate that's running for governor here in New Jersey. She also voted yes on that, and she got an earful from us Democrats in New Jersey. But for Hakeem, and what really pissed me off about Hakeem Jeffries doing that is that McVeasy of Texas, another congressman, he had put up another resolution because the reason many Democrats voted yes is because that same resolution to honor Charlie Kirk also has something about being against political violence. But Mark Vesey, that's the name. Mark Vesey put up a separate resolution to against political violence. So they could have voted no on the Charlie Kirk resolution and then still voted yes on Mark Vesey's resolution against political violence, and they got played. Republicans played them, making them think it would look bad if you didn't vote yes on this resolution. I don't know if you heard Jasmine Crockett speaking about the vote. Other than the Congressional Black Caucus, only two white Democrats voted no. So that lets you know that sometimes people you think are allies are not really your allies when it gets tough, when it could be they were more worried about their election than doing the right thing. Some of them had the guts to come out and say that, look, if I vote for this, I can't win. Others didn't say anything, they just voted yes on the resolution. So I mean, you put your next election before your integrity or your morals. That says a lot.
Should there be a very strong third party? And we always talk about the independent party and the Green Party and stuff like that. And they're really not that strong. I mean, they could be in time, but are we looking at because of what's happening now? Of course, former Vice President Kamala Harris has a book on the 7 days talk about the infighting within the Democrats as well. Could we see a possible strong, serious third party?
Be honest with you, this has been discussed a lot. I don't know if we'll see it with it. It may take 15, 20 years to get a serious third party. Because think about it, as long as the Green Party's been around, the problem I have with the Green Party and parties like that, they always shoot for the top. They always run for Congress. They always run for Senate. They never build up a local base by running for school board, council, mayor. They never build up a pipeline of people that can show you're serious about politics. So they run for Congress, they run for president, they run for Senate, then they disappear, and you don't hear about them for another 4 years, another 6 years. So to me, they're not serious politically. We need a serious party that's going to compete at all levels of government, build a foundation, build politicians from the ground up, so you have experienced politicians when it does come time to have a serious challenge for Congress, for Senate, for president, for governor. You have serious people in the pipeline that know what they're doing and know the work. The Green Party and other parties, as far as I'm concerned, haven't done that work. That's why right now we don't have a successful third party here in the United States.
Let's see, going back to the comment section. Let's see, Jed types poor manga. Yeah, poor manga. Yeah, poor Mongo. Yeah, we started going back to the whole thing with Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, okay.
Yeah.
Little bit before I was like 7 or 8. I remember watching it on HBO back then. I just remember they're around the fire and and everybody was farting or something. I remember that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, man.
I was a kid, but I remember that.
My man came up with Tiger was like, someone said, "You want some more beans with the Tiger?" I said, "Y'all had enough." Damn.
and when you 7 or 8, that's hilarious. I remember what it was on HBO. Then some adult came running. What the hell are y'all watching? And we had to turn the TV, whatever. But I remember when I was little.
Yeah, I loved it. Let's see. Good afternoon, Chris and Mr. Cook, Plus Base Nation. How you doing, Annabelle? Thank you for being here.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome.
Let's see. Hold on. What was that? George III, did you see Alien Earth ending?
Yes, I am. And I'm gonna be quite serious. After episode 5, if we're being honest, the quality of the episodes took a dip as far as I'm concerned. The last episode was better than 6 and 7, but I don't know. We know there's going to be a season 2 now, but it didn't seem like I thought it was going to be a mini series with a definite start and ending. And the way it ended, I really don't like it, especially when I want to see how they're going to turn themselves in a pretzel to tie themselves back to the movies, because this takes place before Alien. So I'm gonna see how they're going to twist themselves into a pretzel to tie it back into the original Alien. I do think like I said, the last 3 episodes got weaker. I was not in. And episode 8, to me, it seemed like they cheaped out on the special effects. I was really expecting all-out battle. So it seems to me they cheaped out on the special effects. Even the 2 people we wanted to see fight, even that was disappointing. It was like wrestling. You finally get 2 wrestlers fighting, and then there's interference and people running in. I'm like, ah. So I'll be honest, I was not impressed by the last 3 episodes. But I still recommend, if you get a chance, go see episode 5.
I haven't got a chance to see it yet. You know what? As a matter of fact, I was channel surfing earlier, and I saw that the Fantastic Four is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So I saw that advertisement. So check that out tonight. You saw it, right?
No, actually,
Oh, you haven't seen Fantastic Four?
I am gonna go see Fantastic Four, because what I'm starting to realize when it comes to these Marvel movies, don't listen to anybody. Go see it for yourself. Because I saw Captain America: Brave New World was not as bad as people said. Then I actually watched Thunderbolts, and that's not as bad as people said. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go give Fantastic Four a chance, because maybe that's not. I saw the new Superman movie. A lot of these movies are. If it's comic book people talking about it, ignore anything they say. Go see the movie for yourself, because a lot of them are sticklers for detail. Is it comic book accurate? And they take all the joy and fun out of the movie. Like Thunderbolts is actually a good movie. It's if you like action superhero movies, it's a good movie. You're not gonna compare it to Endgame or any of that stuff. But it was
no.
If you got an hour and a half to waste, You could do a lot worse. So that's how we have to start judging these movies. Stop trying to make everything live up to this thing. A lot of these comic book fans, they're getting ridiculous now. Before a movie even comes out, they're bashing it. It's going to be horrible, this and that. So I guess ignore it.
I don't listen to them. I may read a couple of articles here and there because I'm curious.
Mm.
But after that, no, it's up to me if I want to see the movie
Yeah.
or not. Like in my situation now, I'll just wait till it comes on a streaming service or
Yeah.
whatever. So, for example, I saw Superman.
Yeah.
I actually liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was a good interpretation of the character. Real quick, because I read in other, not other, but graphic novels about Superman being a god to
Yeah.
the people of Earth, and what if he changes up and try to become a god to that? And just the fact they treated like that goes to him, in the handcuffs and him going. I mean, that type of thing. I thought was a unique take on the character. Plus, one step further, we never saw the crypto character, the dog, before. And the whole Fortress of Solitude, I thought it was probably pretty decent. And bringing in the Justice League members as well, it was actually pretty decent.
Some people didn't like it because they said he got his ass kicked too much. And I was explaining, oh my God, yes, the problem when you do a Superman movie, you had a Superman problem. You have to make it believable that he could possibly lose, even if he's not. Otherwise, there's no drama, there's no tension.
Yes.
That's why it's very hard to do a good Superman. Like Superman 2, that's why Superman 2 from the original series is so good. There was a chance Superman could have lost. He was fighting three of him. So, but like I said, it's very hard to do a good Superman movie. They did a good job with this one. To me, some people thought it was too cartoony, too bright, too colorful. I'm like, we already had the dark stuff and all that, But to me, those movies were okay. They weren't the best. I think they did the Black Superman suit hard badly in those movies, but that's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I mean, like I said, just if you're gonna go see movies, go see what you want. Just go see something and have fun.
Absolutely. You can't listen to all these different people online, man, because they got their theories and stuff like that. But the main thing is for you to check it out. Check it out for yourself. Go have fun, like you said, and that's the main thing. Is kick back and enjoy the movie. You didn't like it, you didn't like it. That's the gamble that you have going into the movie to see it. Because, like you said, we have an hour and a half, or 2 hours to waste of your life. It may be an investment. You just may like it. Because real quick, after we get finished with the program, I go check out the Fantastic Four. I've been a Fantastic Four since I was a kid.
Okay.
So I remember my mom got me the Marvel book of origin stories of Captain America, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, people like that. So what I read was that this version is true to the comic book of how they started and things like that. But some people just get a little bit too much for me. Reed Richards not have a beard. It's a fucking beard.
He's not even real characters. You don't know what Reed Richards has. The artist can do whatever they want. It's like it's a book. Oh, but not to change the subject, but have you seen the trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu, whatever? I call him Baby Yoda. The new trailer for the new Star Wars movie coming out next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like the new trailer. Seems like they're going back to the essence of the original Star movies, like when they was trying to make them matinee movies and stuff and that like that. So I'm excited for that. I'm not too excited for Star Wars Starfighter, but I will go see it because I'm a Star Wars fan. But I don't like the idea of Ryan Gosling being this. I don't seem to make a dime store ripoff of Han Solo's character, but I will give it a chance.
Give him a chance, Doc. Nothing wrong with that. George L. Cook, where can people find more information about you, sir?
You can find me at George Cook at African American Reports on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Fanbase, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm on all little channels. George Cook at African American Reports. If you have trouble finding me, just put in African American Reports or AA Reports, and I'll come right up.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much, brother. I'll see you next time.
All right, you have a good one. Goodbye and God bless.
All right, same to you, brother. Take care. The great George L. Cook III joins us every second and fourth Friday right here on BaseLine. What's up, Max Myrick? Another great person. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. This dude is dynamic, man. Fantastic, brother. Glad to have you here. How you feeling, man? Let's see. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Let me put this on. Okay, there you go. I'll be right back. Well, give me a couple seconds. Okay, I'm back. Let me take care of this real quick. Hey, you ever get numb butt? Man, you know, when you sit in your chair for a certain long time, your butt was like, your butt started calling hogs. Not farting, but getting numb butt. You had to adjust my seat. So, yeah. It is not good. Let's see. Again, to join in the conversation, 312-597-2106 to call in, 312-597-2106. Go through, of course, the Chris Base channel, all one word. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you share all of that. Instagram, I am the base. Also on Facebook Live. Also, if you dare, I will put the link in for you to come through that way if you dare ask for it. Yeah, I said it earlier in the conversation, and so no dinner menu tonight, going out for dinner today. Good for you. Good for you. Enjoy yourself. Good for you. I'm glad you get a chance to get out. Yeah, I know. Well, Enver and Mark, her brother Mark, they put in work when they cook. So I'm glad you got a chance to have a day off. Go enjoy yourself in a nice dinner atmosphere and enjoy yourselves. Absolutely, that is the main thing. Let's see here. Let's see. We're talking about Jimmy Kimmel. So here's the story now. Nexstar Media Group joined Sinclair Broadcasting broadcast group in bringing Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show back to its local TV station on Friday night, ending a days-long TV blackout for dozens of cities across the U.S. The company suspended the program on September 17th over the remarks the comedian made in the wake of conservative activist Charlie Kirk's killing. Disney-owned ABC suspended Kimmel the same day following threats of potential repercussions from the Trump-appointed head of the FCC. The move Thursday means Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to local TV and Nexstar's 28 ABC affiliates from Topeka, Kansas to New Orleans, along with Sinclair's 38 local markets from Seattle to Washington, D.C. Kimmel's suspension lasted less than a week, while the affiliate blackout stood for just over a week itself. When the boycott began, Sinclair, which is known for its conservative political content, called on Kimmel to apologize to Kirk's family. Taking it a step further, the company asked him to make a meaningful personal donation to Turning Point USA, the nonprofit that Kirk founded. On the day Kirk was killed, Kimmel shared a message of support for Kirk's family from other victims of gun violence on social media, which he reiterated during his Tuesday return to ABC. He had also called the conservative activist assassinations a senseless murder prior to being taken off the air. Kimmel's original comments didn't otherwise focus on Kirk. He instead lambasted 47 and his administration, their response to the killing. On his first show back Tuesday, the comedian did not apologize, but did say it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I acknowledge that to some, his comments felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. He also used his blend of humor and pointed messages to emphasize the importance of free speech. The Maryland-based Sinclair and Texas-based Nexstar continued to preempt the show for 3 days, even after ABC and Disney returned it to the national airwaves. New episodes of the show aired Monday through Thursday. Friday night's rerun will be a Tuesday show, so viewers of Sinclair stations can see Kimmel's emotional return to the air. Viewers will have to wait until Monday to get the host's take on the latest move. So, it's a process like anything else. You have to understand that when wrong is wrong, and you're able to prove that it's wrong, and you're able to have a victory again in the wrong that should have been never done in the first place, it's completely solid. It makes all the sense in the world. But if you're a person that continues to ignore your surroundings, gotta stop it. Gotta stop it. Let's see. Let's see. Omar, my birthday is next month. I'm going to be 56 years old, but Chris, I am salty. Well, your upcoming birthday, 56 years old, nothing wrong with that. Omar, and yeah, man, it's true. 56, definitely a blessing. Excuse me. Let's see. There's more comments I saw on here, but by the time George got on, see, I saw a couple here I didn't get a chance to get around to. Hold on. Barbara Jean at Chris Base is generation old. Yes. Yes, I don't run away from it. If I couldn't anyway, because I can't run like I used to. I could saunter. I could saunter away, but yeah, there you go. Absolutely, man. Let's see here. Let's see. We used to have it, we don't anymore. The Federal Communications, speak, Chris. The Federal Communications Commission, that's the FCC, introduced was there in 1949. There was a policy that required the holders of broadcast licenses both to present controversial issues and public importance, and to do so in a manner that fairly reflected differing viewpoints. What it was that, for example, if I did a show and I was giving the Democratic viewpoint, by law, I had to get a Republican on with me and go back in that type of back and forth. But they got rid of that. They got rid of it altogether. So that was, when you think about it, if you followed terrestrial radio, how the late Rush Limbaugh was able to do his thing because the Fairness Act was being taken out. So as a talk show host like himself, being Republican and conservative, he didn't have to have a viewpoint from the opposite side. Like the rest of us, we don't need it anymore. So it's 6 to 1, half does of the other when it comes to that perspective is concerned. Let's see. Okay, you don't have to shout, Walter. Yep, no one knows the day, night, hour, second, nor millisecond of his arrival. No Jesus. And so the FCC needs to realize that, yes, there are boundaries, but when you step over that line, freedom of speech, it's going to be a fight. So, Chef Greg Dorsey, good afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon to you, brother. How you doing? Once again, to my brothers and sisters in broadcasting or social media or podcasting, please type into the comment section where people can find your programming at. Please do that. How you doing, brother? Good to see you facing the place right here. Let's see. Well, make sure I can. Okay. Hold on. There's this post. Maybe I can try to put it on my Facebook page. I came across it about a couple of days ago, and it deals with this. Was Disney had posted from 1943. The title is Disney's World War II WW2 propaganda cartoon, Reason and Emotion from 1943. If I'm able to put it on my page, I will do so. It was a very short clip of how somebody could be influenced. And so it deals with two parts of a person's personality. And once again, it's a cartoon, so it's two personality. One is very meek and mild and wears glasses, everything else. The other one is kind of like a caveman looking dude who's very outspoken and outgoing. And they're watching the person who's watching, because these two personalities in the person's skull, while the man is watching all these things happen, is how the influences are coming into his skull. When one is saying, no, don't do that. No, that's not right. The other one's like, oh, let's do it. Seek Heil. And he's watching and listening to, for example, once again, it's World War II, these German foot soldiers doing the march. And then the caveman one, his mind starts to do, he starts to get influenced, starts to do the same thing that he saw. And that still applies right to this day in 2025. People being influenced what they see. Some people you could tell them anything and they'll believe it. Some people just easily influenced. So if you're easily influenced and you don't know what's right and what's wrong, you can be told anything. And you'll believe it. It's not cool, but you'll believe it without even questioning what's going on. If something don't or doesn't make sense, then you should ask and say, hey, wait a minute. Doesn't make sense to me at all. I was saying before I did this program, I was on my man, Cool McCain, recording the players play call sports talk program, and it would air. I had it on my Facebook page and social media when I got off the air. So it's the play caller sports talk. It will air tonight at 8 p.m. That's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I'll get the link and I'll put up there. You get a chance to check it out when you have time. Let's see. So you can be easily influenced if your mind allows yourself to, whether it's form of dress, glasses, and I need something better. I'm blind as a motherfucker. Anyway, where you live, who your friends are, what you watch on TV. I mean, you can be easily influenced. But I think, again, if you pattern yourself after somebody else, okay, that's okay, but don't become the person you're trying to pattern yourself after. Don't become them. I like that. You ever seen the movie, The Incredible, what was it, Mr. Ripley? Yeah, that type. You don't want that. You don't want to become that person. The talented Mr. Ripley. You don't want that. So again, the X film came out back in 1999, based off the novel by Patricia Highsmith. Again, the talented Mr. Ripley. Let's see. Barbara Jean, I really, really, really need glasses. And me too. It took me just a little bit to read that shit that you put up there. No, I do too. No, really. I mean, these fuckers right here, man. I'm telling you, I barely get by. See, I mean, I used to go to the optometry college when I was living in Bronzeville. It was over there on Michigan. I used to go there, and it's a school. Obviously, I just got tired. They do a thorough job sometimes, but I just got tired. Because the students there, don't get me wrong, they're doing their job. You're trying to help them out, and you're patient, things like that. But I need the real deal sometimes. I can't see yet. So the students, okay, Mr. Bass, sit here. Okay, they will scope my eyes. Then they gotta put the solution, and everything else. I'm like, this is rough, doctor. Let's see. Oh, for real, Greg? Internet's going off and on. I'm sorry about that, doctor. The Talented Mr. Ripley was a fantastic movie, Walter Tice. It was. No, it really was. Real talk. It really was. That was a great cast. Let's see. It was Matt Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Philip Seymour Hoffman. God rest his soul. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm sorry he's not with us anymore. He passed away. Again, just a fantastic cast. And who was it? Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett was in it too. So, yeah, that was a very cool movie. And again, based off the novel. So, and the novel, of course, was written by, let me get that name again. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Patricia Highsmith was the person who wrote the book. So when you look at the perspective of trying to help students, like for example, when I'm in the hospital, when I used to go to the hospital, I don't want to go to the hospital anytime soon. I don't want to put that out in the atmosphere. But when I go to the doctor and I had to be in the hospital for a little bit, and you have the students come around to check you out. Yeah, I feel like like a guinea pig sometimes. I don't mind helping the students. It's going to help them out, then cool in the game. But let's see. Did you like Jude Law and Alfie with Omar Epps and Nia Long? I remember it slightly. I don't remember it all the way. Alfie. Was Omar? I know Omar Epps and Nia Long was in that movie. I don't remember them anymore. I go back and watch it. I remember Jude Law. I remember Alfie. That was a remake of a Michael Caine movie. Alfie was. So I remember that. Let's see here. Those people continued contacting me even after I told them my mama was deceased. I was hella pissed. The deceased doesn't need vision appointments. Well, you got that right. Let's see. Okay, you know what? I want to address this real quick. Question: what topics did you hit in the 4 o'clock hour? Just curious. Okay, let me explain something about. I'm gonna put this up here for a little bit, because I'm tired. Okay, this person here. This person, you see the name and the face. Okay, this person right here. This person does the same thing I do. Okay, he was also a broadcaster in terrestrial radio. Same thing I do. He does music. I do talk. Okay, let's establish that. I want my audience to understand what I'm going through when I talk to this motherfucker. I asked him today. We were talking earlier today. I said, "Have you listened to talk radio before?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Listen to a program when they do say open phones." He said, "Yes." Okay. Now, I've been doing this, and I've been in this industry for 30 years, collectively 30 years between terrestrial radio and social media. When I do my version of open phone, which is free your mind, if I'm doing a topic, say for example, the whole thing about James Comey being indicted or Jimmy Kimmel getting back on the air, something like that, is a galvanizing topic. In commercial breaks, what they usually call what they call a recap. So a recap is when you go to the break. Say, for example, I'm doing the break right now. Let's look at the weather report. Today is high 81 degrees. By the way, go commercial. All right. After commercial, there's a recap. The host comes back. Welcome back to the program. We're talking about James Comey, who recently was indicted. Your phone call. So that's the recap coming out of the commercial. As you know, there's no commercials here. And it's a open topic program. Open topic. Okay. So when this person who is same profession I'm doing asked me a question about, because what topics did you hit on at 4 o'clock? First of all, I should not give you a recap. Why? Because you, as the caller or commenter, or come in the comment section, could type in whatever you want to talk about. So it does not matter of a recap. Doesn't matter a bit. Can I talk to Walter off the air? If you bring this shit to me one more time, I mean, this shit right here, because it's stupid. If you do it to me, if you talk to me on the phone, I'm going to hang up on you. I'll give you a heads up. I'm going to hang up on you. I'm old. I'm tired. I'm bitter. I'm tired. This is like if I was to call him and ask him, hey, man, how come you're on FM radio? Hey, Walter, how come you're on AM radio? That's a dumbass question to ask. Dumbass. Okay? So I'm putting this whole thing to bed. The whole thing to bed. I'm telling it to sleep. In fact, night. We're going night, nigga. Night. Night. The whole thing's coming to an end. This stuff right here, because I'm tired. Never ask me again. Audience, do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. And I don't mind being wrong. I really do not. It's not a big thing. The sky won't fall. The earth won't, spin on its axis and throw us all out in the atmosphere. It ain't going to happen like that. So for a little night, never ask me this question again. Especially somebody who claims to work in the same profession I am. That I was it. No more. No more. That's it. That's all. I'm not going to do this with you anymore or anybody else. You come into the show with your topic, we talk about, and that's the show. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the program. You have to ask about what happened last hour. Don't worry about last hour. With you coming in with your topic helps to keep the show moving forward. The topics, the calls, the links, the comments, that galvanizes the program, along with me as the host. That's the reason I do the show in the first place. So to ask what I did last hour, no more. The audience gets it. The audience gets it. So you as a professional who says you work the same profession I did, you should beyond get it. It's like me asking him, hey, man, how come you cut the mic on and use the on and off switch? Yep. Something has to come to an end, and that is one of them. Okay, all right, no more of that. No more of that. Good night for that. Good night. Put it to bed. We'll sleep. Ooh wee. And again, I mentioned before, my man, Cool McCain. Play Callers Sports Talk will air tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I told you we just recorded before I got on here to do this show. I'll send the link, put a link up on my Facebook page, and then get you to check it out yourself. I hope you like it. Again, I told them, I said, dude, some of the stuff I ain't familiar with, I'm glad to be on the show. And so I say I'm more of a basketball fan than anything else. I love basketball first and then football. So this not getting, of course, the football season just started. Up in the few weeks we got started with that. But that's about it. But I hope you get a chance to check it out. Cool is a good guy. Cool McCain. I call him Cool Breeze. That's my little bro. and got a chance to do that and work with him. That was all right there. Let's see here. So again, come in with your comments and questions and anything else on your mind, and take it from there. Let's see. See, I'm afraid to even. I'm gonna click it anyway. What the hell? See, now we got a paragraph. Okay. Okay. Did you know James Comey got into? Okay, I don't. I'm not going through that. No. See, this is what I'm talking about. This. Watch this. Okay. Did you know James Comey got indicted, and he wants to fight it? I think he should call President Trump, apologize, and move on. I also think Jimmy Kimmel should tell jokes and stay away from politics, aka Trump. I believe that ICE agents in Chicago will start uh, getting shot like copycats in Dallas. I pray doesn't happen, though. Your thoughts? Okay. I thought I was going to say something stupid, but okay. Let's try to break this stuff down. Yes, I mentioned about James Comey getting indicted. As I said, and I believe that, again, if they're able to convince the jury, the 14 jurors, that the president is using his bully pulpit to go after people because of political revenge, then James Comey will not do any time whatsoever. Okay, got that part. I also think Jimmy Kimmel should tell jokes and stay away from politics, aka Trump. No, he should not. No, Jimmy Kimmel should continue on because when you, again, let the bully win, the bully will always come by lunchtime, beat your ass up, and take your lunch money. You fight a bully head on till the bully is destroyed. And Kimmel has every right to free speech, just like you have every right to type this right here. So no, he should not stay away from politics. Keep on keeping on. With the Trump jokes, if Trump can't take it, fuck him too. Let's see. I believe that ICE agents in Chicago will start getting shot like copycats in Dallas. I pray doesn't happen though. Okay, I don't want that to happen either. I hope not, because you are correct. There are too many copycats in this world as is already, and we don't want any more bloodshed on the street. We unfortunately will get it in some way, shape, or form because that's how evil rolls. Again, evil has no zip code. Last I checked. So it's going to happen regardless. And so the thing about all of that is you do have people out there who work for ICE, National Guard. There's always a few ignorant people who have an itchy trigger finger. And then you have the ones who are in military services who may have other agendas, who may be racist people who were able to get through the cracks and get in the system and were able to flaunt their agenda through their particular job, trading in the sheets for nightsticks, trading in the sheets for guns. Then you're able to go out and kill black and brown people. What's the go-to line, boys and girls? I'll let you type it. Just a quick quiz from the professor. So on the show, many times, the ones who do, say police officers, for example, shoot and kill an unarmed person of color, for example. And what's the first thing they say, especially if the person, once again, is unarmed and they shoot them? What is usually the first thing the cop says that goes through the record books? What's the first thing the police officer says after this horrible incident? You type in the comment section yourself, or you can call in. the National Guard's car coming to Chicago talks have died down from the president? Well, let's see. What do you say here? Cops say, I fear for my life. Thank you. Walter Kennedy, get a shiny new nickel. That's right. I fear for my life. That's the go-to. When it comes to these certain cops do that. Going back to your earlier question about the statement about the National Guard coming to Chicago. Well, again, going back to 47, he can't make up his mind. Because if it's not, say for example, it's not D.C., there'll be Chicago. Now, Chicago will be New Orleans. New Orleans is somebody else. So, yeah, he's all over the board because his mind is scatterbrained. And yes, we should push back. We can't just let him just run roughshod over everybody. We can't just let that happen. And say what you want about Mayor Johnson in Chicago, he just might have saved his job by doing that, by coming forward. Because it didn't look too good. It was looking kind of bleak for him not to come back as mayor, not to be reinstated as mayor. And maybe he may not, but I think because of his stance against Trump, that I think with some people gave him some more time, gave him some extra time. They probably looked at him differently because of him and Tony Preckwinkle and Kwame Raoul, J.B. Pritzker, the governor. Yes. You can't just lay down and just take it. Then what does that say about you? Are you a foot soldier? Are you a lackey? Are you weak? So just go along with what the president says and not have the ability or the right to disagree? You must lockstep and seek higher? No. That's not how that works. Go back to what Cannon said about Kimmel's just stick to jokes. No. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. That's not fair and it's not right. Let's see. I got a shiny new necklace. Okay, I can't read the rest of that. In the midst of all this, I didn't get a chance to, but I'll talk about it now. About the passing of a great actor named Robert Redford. Passed away at 89. And Robert Redford, of course, fantastic actor, credited for, of course, creating Sundance. And that is Sundance when you talk about independent films. And he created that. In fact, they have a network on that on cable, Sundance Channel. And the body of work he has done with the pairing, of course, of him and Paul Newman, Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, The Sting, Barefoot in the Park. Of course, those two, not Barefoot in the Park, but that was with Jane Fonda. But yeah, his collaborations with those actors and once again, his body of work is just fantastic. Let's go to the phones and say good afternoon to Omar. How you doing, Omar? How's everything?
I'm fine, Chris. I wrote a story about Robert Redford on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
He, got his start in the early days of TV.
I remember I saw an episode of him on The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
For example. And I thought that was a really good episode about this lady who did not want to face death. So she stayed in her house, her apartment, so that way she could stay alive for a while. And then this young man, played by Robert Redford, at the door asking him, can she come in? And that whole it was a really great story. So yeah, I've seen him a few times on television, but that episode I liked a lot with him in it.
Because him and Sidney Pollack did a television play way back in 1959 for the Playhouse 90 series.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The War Hunt. And it was filmed when Playhouse 90 was about to end. And Sidney Pollack was he was starting his acting career at that time, and then he much later became a director with Robert Redford.
You know, he was also a good director. The movie Quiz Show that he directed was fantastic, and it dealt with the it was a quiz show on NBC at the time, and it dealt with these two particular contestants. One was you know, he was of Jewish descent.
It was Charles Temple and Charles Van Doren.
Right. And then the Charles Van Doren person, you know, who was on there. And this big scandal was the fact that they were giving them the answers to these quizzes. And that really broke the mold of the innocence of game show that we saw. Game shows at one point were not even thought about at one point after that. And it made a comeback years later when it's like the 50s, 60s during this time. And it was just unique that they were able to take that franchise, a standpoint of a game show concept, and make it work again, because that scandal really busted wide open during that time.
It was Jack Barry and Dan Amwright. They the ones who much later became the creative force of the Joker's Wild.
Correct. That's right. That's absolutely right. That's what happened after that. Because Jack Barry, I used to watch him once again as the host of the Joker's Wild. He was the host of that program. So it's amazing how life ties into something else. Because as a kid, I knew of Jack Barry, but I know his background 2 years later, being involved in that scandal. So just the fact they were to bounce back and go from there. So you're right. He was the host of the Joker's Wild, correct.
And The Price is Right, way back in 1959, was still at its baby stage. And Bill Cullen was the host of the original Price is Right, because the Price is Right survived the game show scandals.
That's right. That's exactly right. And going back to Robert Redford, some of his movies that I liked a lot as well was The Natural. Was another good movie he did. So no, his body of work is just impeccable. And I think he was old school and believed in movie making, but at the same time telling the art of a story. But sometimes, like Denzel Washington said it best, there's a difference between filmmaking and stage acting and being on stage. They're two different things. And sometimes if you're lucky, you can combine the two on film, but it is a difference, obviously, by format. But just the fact that if you're able to take the great storytelling in writing and putting it into a movie and then go from there, that takes a skill.
Like, see, when Robert Redford did The Natural, that was based on a true story.
That's the first I've heard of that.
It was based on a baseball player by the name of Jim Rockets. He used to play with the Chicago Cubs a long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady shot him in his hotel room. And Robert Redford, he changed his character from Jim Rockets to Mr. Hobbs, whatever his name is. He created it because he didn't want to upset the Jim Rockets and his family. And Glenn Close, she did a good job in that movie. Darren McGavin, he had a supportive role in that movie. And Richard Farnsworth, he did a good job in that movie too.
Yeah, once again, that was a good cast. Wilford Brimley played Pop Fisher in the movie. Going back to just looking at the whole cast here, and even Barbara Hershey, the one who played the woman who shot Roy Hobbs, of course, played by Robert Redford.
Yeah,
and this is a fantastic cast. You said my Darren McGavin was in it, so yeah, they have some really good character actors in that movie. And again, going back to Redford, I just think that he aligned himself with just great storytelling. Hell, going back to Indecent Proposal, that he was in that as well. I remember, man, when I was in talk radio, that was the thing. Everybody talked about that. Would you take $1 million if let somebody sleep with your husband or wife? Oh my God, they did it to death. They just
I don't
talk
know.
about all over the way. I'm like, aren't y'all tired? Okay, bang the person, get over it. Bang the person, get the $1 million, and can we move on from that? That's what everybody wants to talk about that. But that was a popular buzz topic. Would you let your spouse bang somebody for $1 million? A lot of people did say yes, though.
And then I remember Ordinary People, Mary Tyler Moore filming that movie. Her son committed suicide.
Your Ordinary People, he directed that, going back to Robert Redford with Mary Tyler Moore and Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore's son, Richie, committed suicide during production of that movie.
Well, we know now, but yeah. So no, it's I just think, again, when you look at somebody's body of work, the commitment to the art and what they believe in, it shows in their work. It just goes a long way. He definitely will be missed.
And the Sundance Film Festival, they show independent movies. They show them before they went mainstream, before Oscar time come along.
I was watching a little bit of Barefoot in the Park that was on TCM recently, and I was watching that, and I never seen it before, but I always heard of it. My connection to it was when I used to watch reruns as a kid of Love American Style.
Yeah,
Barefoot in the Park was within the show, like a show within the show. It was an all-black cast during that time.
With Scory Mitchell.
Right, Scory Mitchell, right. And that was an all-black cast, right. So that was unique because, again, as a kid, I didn't know the origin story until years later. They came from Barefoot in the Park, from the movie. I think it was also a play as well that was based upon that with all-black cast in Love American Style.
Because Neil Simon, way back in the beginning of 1970, he had carte blanche, so to speak, like bringing our couple to TV, from film to TV, like Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. Like, for example, Jack Klugman, he was in the stage version. Tony Randall wasn't in the stage version. He was when the Odd Couple, when the Odd Couple, the movie was launched, his career was kind of, down. But Jack Klugman's career was way up.
Okay, all right, back up. So you're talking about Neil Simon's The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, back up now. Who you say was doing the stage version again? Who's on stage?
The stage version was Jack Klugman and Art Carney.
Okay, no, I had to correct you. I go back and check for yourself. You're right. It was Art Carney. It was Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
You said Jack Klugman. I just want to make sure you got the people correct. So no, it was right. Hold on, Walter Matthau and Art Carney. Right. So then when the movie came along, it was Walter Matthau and then who?
Jack Lemmon.
There you go. Right. There you go. All right. Gotcha. Now you're on track. All right. Got it.
Yeah. So you now remember.
There you go. Right. There you go. Right. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, when it made it to TV and all that, Jack Klugman.
There you go.
His popularity was going down. Was really popular. Did you know when the Odd Couple ended his run, when Quincy came along, did you know Tony Randall was supposed to be, Quincy's boss, Dr. Aston?
I didn't know.
But he turned it down.
Okay, got it.
And as for Scory Mitchell, he's the Joe Tex of comedy. He mostly a director, and sometimes actor, part-time comedian and such.
Yeah, you ever watched the movie JoJo Dancer, for example, the Richard Pryor biopic? Scory Mitchell plays Richard Pryor's father in that movie.
Yeah.
That's Scory Mitchell's story. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Scory Mitchell and Richard Pryor, they started out at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
So both of them was on the same program on Broadway tonight. That was the precursor of Saturday Night Live at that time. When on Broadway Tonight, they Richard Pryor was the newest discovery, and he left Scott Mitchell in the race side.
Trying to think real quick, going back to Robert Redford. Another movie he did, he always did a string of hits of All the President's Men.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, and that, of course, dealing with the whole Watergate scandal, dealing with that, and again, being paired up with Dustin Hoffman.
They're both of them the same age.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that they were able to, I mean, really become legends, playing Bob Woodward and, what was that, Carl Bernstein. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that, and this film back in 1976, when you're dealing with something that's real in real time, and then you're able to take that and make it to a movie, because that was a big thing in the 70s with Nixon and the Watergate scandal and the tapes and everything else. And here you had these two really seasoned actors who come along and just give it justice and give them, meaning the real people, more really great legendary status. I think it is amazing because, again, some people got into politics because they saw All the President's Men and things of that nature. Yes.
And Jason Robards, he portrayed Ben Bradley. And Jason Robards in the mid-70s, he had a drinking problem, but his drinking problem, wasn't dry dock at that time.
So what would your favorite Robert Redford movie be? You had to pick one Robert Redford movie. Which one would that be?
Jeremiah Johnson.
Okay, that's a good one. I remember seeing that as a kid. Yeah, that was a good one. My favorite would be The Sting. I would say The Sting, but The Natural comes a really close second. A really close second. Yeah, The Sting was fantastic.
In The Sting, they had Robert Earl Jones, James Earl Jones' father in that movie.
That's right. He was in there in the beginning opening scenes. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Robert Earl Jones. And Barbara Shaw, he was in that movie, and Harold Gould.
Again, just a fantastic character. I gotta get some more topics real quick. I'll probably stick on this one for a little bit. But Omar, thank you for calling, man, and thank you for contributing. And have a great, fantastic weekend.
Same to you, Chris. And I listen to you right now.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Doctor. Take care.
Okay, same to you, buddy. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Omar calling from Georgia there. Former Chicagoan, now living in Georgia. Thank you for the information about the movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm about information. I just want to make sure information is stacked. So, everybody out there, again, knowing about Robert Redford's passing away, what would be your favorite, you could pick one, your favorite Robert Redford movie? I told you, mine's The Sting. Him and Paul Newman, just like their chemistry as a duo is just great. I'm glad we got two movies out of them, because I was hoping maybe a little bit, as a kid and watching maybe be some more. How scheduling is, and executives and even politics within Hollywood about trying to get actors to work together, or if they can or cannot. So, yeah, in the closing remaining time we have left, what are some of your favorite Robert Redford movies? Like I said before, really close. Second is The Natural. The Natural was just really great. Let's see here. Lots to choose from. Go check it out for yourself, or excuse me, remember the ones you used to watch. Let's see. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he had a I wouldn't say cameo, but a quick part in Avengers Endgame. He was in that. I was like, yeah, you look up and pop up, and there's goddamn Robert Redford in it. Yeah, he played a baddie in that one, as they say. Played a bad guy in that. He's just so smooth with his, man. He could just do anything, and rightfully so. He put in all the work, got sweat equity in it, did his thing. And so I think like anything else, when you look at what a person contributes, say, as we're talking about here with movies, like you heard with Omar, you sometimes you just know by heart, or you just know it in general. Or, oh, I know what that is when you see the person's face. And I think that says a lot when you're able to look at the person and know them from somewhere. That's always a good thing. The remaining moments we have left, come on through 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. Anything you want to talk about, of course. Of course, you can also come through the link as we have a little more time left. We'll come through the link. That's cool. Come through on the baseline probabilities, or baseline entities that we say, the connects. The baseline connects. I'll go with that. The YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel, all one word with a period at the end of the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Instagram, I am the Base, also on Facebook Live. So, and of course, the comment section, the Peanut Gallery. And of course, ask for the link and we'll make it do what it do. So once again, there's no excuses not to connect. Let's see. When I was doing the recording with Cool about, I told you I was doing the sports program. We recorded and it'll air tonight with Cool McCain. Yeah, I'll take the Bears because they go up against the Raiders coming up soon. I'll take that any day of the week. I'll take a win because as they beat Dallas the last time, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, there's always room for improvement. Always room for improvement. But what little I've seen so far with the new coach Ben Johnson, what we saw so far, I'll take it, Doc. I'll take it any day of the week, especially with Caleb Williams falling on his ass a lot when he was last year. All you want is somebody just to have a good offensive line. That's all you ask for. Protect the quarterback. Do what you got to do, but protect the quarterback. That's what it's all about. I mean, you look at, I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were saying, well, pretty much maybe like this is last year, maybe they're letting him get hit, meaning Caleb Williams. That's sad. That your own teammate get hit. I mean, what kind of teammate are you? Hey, man, you're going to let his brother get through and let his ass and knock him on his ass. What kind of teammate is that was happening for real, for real? I don't know if it was. I was not there. But I guess it was just speculation. Like, why don't we take him? How come we just follow? The same kind of happened to Justin Fields. When Justin Fields was playing, I think he's playing for the Jets now. Because he left here and went to Pittsburgh, one of my other favorite teams. I can't stand Pittsburgh now because they got Aaron Rodgers. I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. Ugh. But he's on the team anyway. He's on the Steelers now. So going back to getting knocked on your ass. Oh, we're back on that again. We were back on knock on the ass. So yeah, knocked on the ass, and it just gets, you wonder what these people are made of. Got to protect your quarterback. You have to. Just that simple. Ooh wee. So as I said, we're in the conversation about cooking for the family. Again, chili. Going back full circle, chili. So I got the ground beef. I got the chili beans. I got the chili powder. Let's see. Of course, I add a little water to it. We'll see. I think it turned out great. I've been between you and me and everybody else watching and listening, I've been testing out chili before I serve it to my family. I don't make sure it's good. In fact, I'm also adding pieces of steak in it as well to brown and get that steak going with the ground beef and go from there. And then add all the other stuff to all the components. So I've been doing some testing here in the lab here at my place, and it's turned out pretty good. I surprised my damn self. So chili will be for tomorrow. Hopefully the family won't choke. Take a toke, but don't choke. I'm not smoking, not puff, pass, but eat. Hopefully they won't choke and everybody be in good shape. But no, I was testing with some chili that I was making to see how it would taste with the ingredients I put in, and actually, I was very surprised. Very surprised. That's going to be on the docket for tomorrow for cooking. Let's see. So again, shout out to my man Cool for having me on the sports program. And once again, let you know when it will be aired. And once again, I'll post it on my social media site on Facebook here. Once again, Play Callers Sports Talk. I'll be on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And then let's see, the weekend's upon us. Like I said before, go Bears! Everybody bear down, my people. Good people and bad people bear down as we face the Raiders. That's gonna be cool. So again, just take time out to enjoy yourself. I would say do this now more than ever. See y'all next time. Yeah, see you next time, Barbara Jean. Thank you for being here as well. And thank you all for taking the time out to be a part of the program. My man, George L. III, thank you for being here as well. And for all of you, just continue to be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Be yourself no matter what they say. Continue to be safe. Continue to be sound. Continue to be healthy. And most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace. Long live the funk. More power to you. And always parting with all of you, my friends. Always keep your head up.